Today I want to share with you 5 Google secrets, hacks, tricks, whatever you want to call them. But essentially no one's talking about these things. And they're not that obvious, so to help you remember them, I've come up with this word, rapid, R-A-P-I-D. You know, everyone talks about keywords, improving your posts, getting your ChatGPT to work for you. But rather than those things, why not get to the core of why it is that Google's not actually ranking your business? And even if you are ranking quite well at the moment, you'll find that as I go through these 5 things, it's going to actually piggyback on all the work you've done and improve it even more. So you'll get more sales, more customers, more clicks, and you'll get a higher ranking for your business. And so the goal of Rapid is you'll be able to apply it to your business or your clients' businesses, and they'll see it working away in the background. So let me explain what Rapid is. Rapid stands for R, which is for register, A for align, P for plugins, I for insights, and D for deal. So the R in Rapid is for register. You'll be surprised how Google won't rank a business if it doesn't really know much about the business. And it's not just about what you put in the profile on Google Maps, but it's a little bit more about when you register your business for your business profile and for your branding, your website, what does Google actually know about your business brand itself? So the simple trick is you go to Google, you type in the word site, then a colon, and then put your domain name. And then what will happen is all of the pages that have been spidered into the Google database, all those pages are now going to show up. And you'll get a good idea as to how many pages Google has information about your business. And you may say, well, that's nothing to do with Google Maps and Google Business Profiles, but it absolutely is, because when you do search in Google Maps, often it will refer to the website mentions when it shows your business on the ranking. And believe me, the more information you get into the Google's database, the more Google will justify using your business, your brand, your website, and your profile to give the results in Google Maps and in Google Search. But here's the second little trick. If you go to Tools, you'll notice under Tools, you can now pick anytime, click on there, and you can see, has Google spidered your business in the last month, in the last week, in the last year? You can even do a custom range. Why do you do this? Because it tells you how often Google goes back. So if Google recognizes you're getting a lot of useful information, users are enjoying what you've put on your website, then you'll find Google will keep coming back more and more to get more information. If you never update your website, you never have any news, nothing of interest to your customers, Google won't come back very often, and you'll find it doesn't spider it, put it into the database as often. So that's a big factor. So it's all part of registering your business through Google itself on its site index. Okay, so that's one that most people don't seem to talk about. But the second thing is A for align. So this is what I used to call Google's judo move. And you can align yourself with Google by letting Google put the power in and then aligning yourself with it. So I say a judo move because if you think with judo, often the power that comes at you, in your defense, you can use that power and you can turn it into a motion that gives you the power. Google loves fast websites, and it gives you a tool that you can then check to see how does Google view your website? What type of speed does it give it? It's known as a GPSI. It's a free tool. There you can check the speed of your site, its performance, its SEO, its usability, all the important things that benchmark against your website. Once again, this is about making your profile relate to a fast website. So Google is keen to promote your website and your brand if it knows it has a decent speed and that customers won't be disappointed if Google puts you to the top of the results. Google isn't going to want to put your business number 1 in the rankings if then when customers get there, they get a really poor result. It takes 5 minutes for the website to load on their mobile. That's not going to work, is it? So this is why Google does this. So look at Google's benchmarks, look at their major signals, and then they show whether or not they love your website. So the key thing is here to align yourself with the expectations of what Google has of what they consider as a fast website. So if you can get green and amber marks rather than red, that's going to be a good thing. So now we're going to move on to the P in Rapid, and this stands for plugins. And if you've got a WordPress website, you'll know plugins are essential. One of the things you can do with plugins is you can make your website load a lot faster by just loading some cache-in plugins. There's a few you can choose. There's various ones I use. You can get some great results very quickly with just a press of a few buttons and an installation of a plugin on your WordPress website. So if you look to the page insight speed, you'll notice that there's lots of probably issues, but you can get your images to load a lot faster. You can get basically the whole thing to serve up the web pages that are common, so that actually rather than waiting for it to load, most of it is already streamlined, ready to go for your customers. So a powerful caching plugin can transform the speed of a site, but it can transform the ranking because Google now starts promoting fast websites. Now I recommend something like Nitro Pack was really useful. I did a video on it recently and I'll give you a link to that video soon. And what it did was it basically took my result was 10, as you can see here, and it took it to 99. And I actually did a live recording of that. So if you want to see how that happened, how I used it, how I installed it on my WordPress website and got those great results of 99 very, very quickly, where it loaded, I think, within about a second, then I'll give you a link to that video a bit later. So the fourth thing is insights. So we take rapid, R-A-P-I, insights. And insights gives you a good understanding of what your customers are doing. So I often go to my insights and there it tells me the real keywords that are being found, but it also tells me how customers find my business. And this is really important. If you're a business that just perhaps doesn't get many mobile searches and much map search, this is going to tell you that information. But you know what? Most people don't realize that most of their customers are using mobiles to find their business. And most web designers and business owners designed their website for a laptop because that's when they did their design, and they test it on a laptop and they think it's great. But those plugins we mentioned a minute ago, the caching plugins, the page insights we mentioned as well, they'll show you that actually on a mobile, probably your business isn't loading that fast. And when you've got a website that doesn't load that fast, Google doesn't like it. And so now you'll notice if you've got nearly all your customers coming and there on the insight, it shows you how they visit. If they're on a mobile and it's slow, Google has been sending traffic to you and going, well, they're not getting a great experience. That gives a signal back to Google profiles, Google business profiles, and there the ranking starts coming down until they find a business that has a great way of promoting mobile speed, has a great way of looking after its customers on a mobile, and they start going to number one. So next time you think that why is it that the guy down the road who's got a rubbish website is ranking number one and I'm not and I've got a great website, maybe if you're on a mobile and see how quickly his loads faster than yours. And that may well be one of the big ranking factors that you've not considered yet. So your insights will reveal those things for you. So we now come to the final letter in rapid, and it's D, deal. How you deal with your customers, how you deal with Google, those things are going to make a massive difference too. They give back signals. Let me give you an example. How do you deal with customers? You get a 1-star review. Do you professionally handle that review? How do you deal with that? Or you get a fake review. How do you deal with that? Do you report it? Do you handle it professionally? Do you know how to deal with those things? What about when it comes to making changes on your profile? So maybe you've changed your address or you've changed your primary category. You know, sometimes you have to wait on Google to approve it, or Google wants to verify it. And I've seen quite a few businesses, what they do is they don't deal with it very patiently. They want to handle it straight away. My advice would be, when something changes, deal with it professionally, leave it. Don't then prod it. Let sleeping dogs lie for a day or two, and then go back to it. Now, if it's a case of you need to chase Google over time, well, do so, but do it professionally. Google is not particularly helpful and it doesn't really like it if people keep making changes. So if you go into your profile, you change your address, Google says, okay, we'll let you know. Then about a minute later, you change all the primary category to a different category. Then you add 9 other secondary categories. Then you make a change to your phone number. And you're getting very impatient about making changes and then wonder why Google doesn't come back to you. And then Google says, well, we need you to verify things now. And so now you're irritated. And then you don't put in the effort to get the verification done properly. You just chuck in a few things and they say, we're not verifying that. And before you know it, your business gets suspended because you just weren't patient. So how you deal with Google when things go wrong, how you deal with your customers when things go wrong, make a massive difference too to your ranking. And I've seen businesses disappear because they didn't deal with things correctly. So with these rapid steps we speak of, they're all going to help you rank in the coming year. And you'll get that boost that you really deserve if you follow those 5 tips I've just given you. But if you haven't got the caching plugin working perfectly for your business yet, and you didn't realize that your business website has an impact on your Google Business Profile rankings, then you need to watch that video I mentioned earlier. It's a real old one. I'm 4 years younger in this video, but take a look at it anyway, because it's got some really helpful tips in there for you. So I'll see you on that next video.